This is what I was born to do. Time to let the world know.
Do it now, I told you, do it now.
Let's go.
You wanna hate me, then hate me. What can I do but keep getting money? Funny, I was just like you. I had to hustle hard, never give up until I made it. Now y'all saying that's a clever, nothing to play with.
You can hate me now,
I won't stop.
but I won't stop now.
Kings play before the hometown crowd, and we've got it for you live here from Sacramento, California. Our starting lineups will look at the matchups here and who we'll see for our starting five for both teams. One of the guys we'll be watching out for today, the developing DeMarcus Cousins.
He can be a frustrating player to coach because as talented as he is, he often loses his cool, and it can take his focus away from the game.
And the reality is the opponents know that, Steve, so they're out there looking to get under his skin and cause one of his meltdowns.
And so for the Grizzlies, their last game, a loss to the Lakers. And they took that loss to just 1 point. Those close ones hurt the most.
While shooting as poorly as they did, there was very little chance they were going to win that game, guys.
Yeah, there was sort of a snowball effect in the game that I saw. I mean, what started as a cold night for a few guys became contagious and became a cold night for everybody.
And it's going to be the Grizzlies off the tip. Here is Outlaw. Passes it to Wolf. He kicks to Landry. He dishes it to Vasquez. Here's Outlaw. The shot's good. Vasquez making the play.
I don't know how they're going to keep this pace up. Both teams on fire here early.
And playing the game on rollerblades, too.
Conley dishes to Koufos. Conley off the pick from Koufos. Conley kicks to Allen. Clock at 6. Back to Conley. And it's Sacramento with the rebound. This game coming after a loss against the Pistons.
Yeah, you want to talk about a team that just couldn't get into a rhythm offensively. That was a really ugly game for them.
Yeah, you know what? I wonder about the game plan, but really, it was more about a lack of execution than anything else. Strange to see that a team that appeared to be in such strong position changed up so much last year. And the Grizzlies did that. They traded away Rudy Gay, and they also changed their offensive scheme to more of a pick-and-roll approach.
That's good from Wolf. There were a lot of questions asked after the Rudy Gay trade last season. Fans wondered if the team was looking to blow it up, even though they were fighting for the 3rd seed at the time. But, Steve, they really rallied.
They did. I thought they showed that they were an excellent team. And, you know, one of the reasons they made that trade was they had a lot of success a couple of years back in the playoffs without Rudy Gay. So they knew that they could play well without him. So they went ahead and pulled the trigger. And it looks like the deal has worked out okay.
I think they've got to be more disciplined here, Kevin. Already way too many fouls and too many free points for the opponent.
Davis, the pass to Bayless. Davis sets a screen. And it's Conley penetrating. And it's out of bounds. The Grizzlies able to retain possession here. With the teardrop, that's good. The Kings leading. Thomas passes to Wolf. And the shot is good. Whoa! And here is Conley. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against the Lakers. The dish to Koufos. Pass to Davis. Goes up the baseline, and he gets the jumper to drop. Sacramento with the ball. And this is the first season matchup for them against the Grizzlies. Here's the machine. He's guarded by Davis. Wolf passes to McLemore. And that's out of bounds. Sacramento will retain possession.
And checking out some numbers for Isaiah Thomas, how he performed last season. Last year averaged 14 points a game, 4 assists, and 2 rebounds. Backup point guard, always a very important position, and he fills that role nicely for them.
He does a really good job of it. You know, it's a lot harder than he makes it look when you're not starting to get into the flow of the game, but that's part of what makes him special.
Memphis trailing here. Now Bayless. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Conley kicks to Bayless. Pass to Conley. There's the 3, and that one's good. And the Grizzlies lead by 2.
A good open look, and he splashes home the 3.
Sacramento's gone 2 of 4 from beyond the arc to start the game. Dishes it to Outlaw. He tries for 3. That one goes. Count it. Outlaw's got 5 points so far.
Oh, the rapid-fire threes coming from everywhere.
I thought it might be a little imprudent to try to get those points right back, but it worked.
Here is Bayless. Feeds it to Pondexter. Outside Conley. 5 on the clock. Davis dishes to Conley. Let's go. And Bayless with the basket. The assist by Conley.
He could have forced a tough inside shot, but made a terrific kick out to find the open jumper instead.
To the wing on the left. Here's the machine. He's guarded by Davis. Thomas passes to Wolf. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Whoa! The machine's got 5 points so far.
You know, they've scored several times already here in the first quarter down low. I like that.
Yeah, me too, Clark. I think anytime you have success pounding the ball inside, you got to continue to go to the well.
Now here is Conley. 7 points in the game. And he gets it to go. He's got 9.
And at the offensive end, he's done about as much as they could have hoped for today.
The Kings trailing. Thomas passes to Wolf. .29 seconds left to play in the first. From deep, Thomas. Rebounded by Kufis. Memphis is gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. Conley kicks to Bayless. Back to Conley. Fires for 3. And again, it's the Grizzlies from deep. 7 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Near the three-point line, it's Thomas. And that does it for the first quarter. Grizzlies lead by 4. And back with the start of the second quarter in just a moment. Now the second quarter getting ready to start up. And a chance for just a second now to check out the scoring. And the Grizzlies leading by 8. Wolf in at center. McCallum is out there with Vasquez. Then there's Travis Outlaw. And it's Patterson in at the 4 spot. So that's the 5 in the game for Sacramento. Conley.
Mike Conley, the number 4 pick back in 2007 out of the Ohio State University. He wasn't an instant star in the NBA, but boy, has he continued to improve year in and year out.
The Grizzlies shooting their 4th and 5th attempts at the free throw line tonight. And the first one drops.
Talk about complete control. Everything working in this one for Conley. He's got 13 points, and he's got 2 baskets from out in three-point land.
I'm sure they'd like to get him a few more of those, so look for them to run some screens for him, try to pop him open.
And Conley drops them both.
You know, they've changed their game here in the second, getting a little bit more physical, playing with some toughness now.
And, you know, this lead is going to grow if they can continue to get to the free throw line.
Okay, well, let's check in with Doris Burke reporting from our sideline in this game. Doris, take it away.
Hi, guys. The Machine in their last game against the Pistons was a big factor. He had 27 points, and that scoring outburst set a new season high for him in what was a great exhibition on his part. A truly dominating game from him in what was hopefully a sign of things to come. At least that's how the franchise is thinking, guys.
Great, Doris. Thanks. Any chance we see him top that performance, Clark, here tonight?
I'd say no chance, partner. And that's not a knock against him. It's just that he was so good that night, I don't think he can possibly do it 2 games in a row.
He was Kelloggian. Is that a word? We can use that word, can't we?
It is now.
Oh, look at Steve. He didn't like that, though. Look at him.
Let's just say he was really good.
Isaiah Thomas, he's checked in for Vasquez. Kufis, the pass to Franklin. Memphis moving that ball around. Conley off the pick from Kufis. And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up.
Well, you know, Mike Conley has always been one of the quickest guards in the league, in my opinion, and just a blur in transition. And for his size, a pretty good finisher with both hands inside.
And Conley has always been quick, Steve, but he's learning how to use, it seems like, different gears to get around defenders.
I agree, Kev. The change of pace, he's gotten so good with his right hand, too, not just off the dribble, but he frequently finishes plays with his right hand in the paint, those little runners. So a lot of skill and to go along with that speed.
And Memphis making a change here. Bayless is checked in. one is no good.
A lot was made about the Kings in their home last year, but it wasn't about how well are they playing at home. It was about where is their home going to be next season. The Kings are staying in Sacramento, but they played like it might be their last hurrah.
Conley with it. 14 points for him. And Bayless kicks to Miller. And that comes off the assist by Jared Bayless. Miller's got the lead, back up to 10 now for Memphis. Sacramento's gotten fewer than half of their three-pointers to go down tonight. They're 4 for 9. And you go back to the Kings at home last year, 20-21 record, and it was easy to see just how much tougher a team they were in this building. You know, Steve, they really looked like a team that could compete with anyone at any time.
Well, this community really rallied behind the franchise, and there was a lot of worry that maybe this was the farewell tour for the Kings fans and the players. And they played their hearts out last year. You got to give them a lot of credit for really fighting, particularly down the stretch when things looked grim.
Bayless dishes to Conley. Kicked away. Thomas with the ball, out guarded by Kufis. And there's the foul to go on Ed Davis. That's foul number 2 for him.
Boy, with 2 fouls now, he really has to be disciplined and under control for the rest of this half.
Some changes for Memphis. Randolph comes in for Kufis, and it's Pondexter in for Mike Miller. Grizzlies on defense. They've held a 12-point lead earlier. Thomas passes to Wolf. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Well, his body control is what I notice. I think that jumps off the page when you watch him play, even with the defender draped all over him. He's able to find a way to get to the rim and get the shot to go in.
The first one falls.
Well, throughout the league and its history, defenses always travel well. And to be good and consistently good in the NBA, you've got to bring that defensive mindset and execution. Offense comes and goes, defense stays.
And so he's able to get 1 of 2. Well, Clark, you said defense a part of the game that never has an off night. And it's why the Grizzlies, Steve, were so tough on the road and really such a tough team in general.
Well, 24-17 on the road is an amazing record for any club. And I think Memphis, they did it with their defense and their rebounding. They were able to enforce their identity on teams on the road with that toughness, with that edge, and it really paid off big time.
And Bayless kicks to Randall. Davis against Thomas. And out of bounds as Memphis gains possession. We have the break in the action. Let's show you the teams that have been making their opponents work especially hard over the past 10 games. In third, the Grizzlies. Fourth, the Kings.
They've been faster setting up their offense lately, and it seems like the teams they've been playing have been rushing a little to keep up with the pace. They've been able to hold their opponent's scoring down quite a bit.
Here's Davis, and he takes the fantastic lead pass up strong for the slam. Well, Clark, a clear lane to the basket and the emphatic jam.
And that is outstanding attacking basketball.
Well, he had no choice but to take that one to the bucket.
Thomas passes to McCallum. That's in there. Thomas with the assist.
I'll tell you what, despite that hot start from long range, they've really gotten away from the three-point shot now.
And I know that's sacrilegious to you, Steve. I mean, being a shooter and all in your pass, you figure you should be firing away from out there at all times. But the mid-range game and in-between game served me quite well. But that hasn't been the best meal ticket for them here in the second half. You got to go with what you do best. Excellent ball movement there, guys.
Yeah, I think that's what's keyed this run, Clark, because they're keeping the ball moving. Defense hasn't been able to set up.
And here's the break. A floater. And yes, sir, that one drops. Now just a 2-point Memphis lead.
What a smooth finish.
Well, he's certainly the one they want on the end of those breaks. He always finishes strong.
Memphis has gone 3 of 7 tonight from three-point territory. Bayless off a pick from Randolph. Bayless dishes to Davis. Blocked. Thomas goes in. Can't tie it up as that one misses. Memphis has gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. And Bayless kicks to Randolph. No good. Excellent D from McCallum. Sacramento's gone 2 of 4 from three-point range so far in the second quarter. 1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. Thomas passes to McCallum. Back to Thomas. Shot clock at 6. And the go-ahead bucket, no good. Here's Bayless. And no good trying to get that one. And the first half ends in a close one. Grizzlies out in front, leading by just 2. Time now for the halftime break, with the third quarter soon to follow, right here on 2K Sports.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
And now get ready for the halftime report. We're happy to be part of your Sunday. Memphis on top against Sacramento. This is a disciplined team, and when it comes to boxing out, controlling the backboard with fundamental play, we've seen it so far. Michael Conley's been outstanding. He scored 16 points and is up to his usual tricks, dropping a lot of dimes all over the court. On the other hand, Sacramento also giving it their best. Outstanding bench production. They've gotten a very nice lift, and that's made a huge difference for them on the scoreboard. And that's going to do it. We'll send you back to the game in Sacramento. Third quarter coming up next.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
Here we go now, the start of the third quarter, welcoming you back in a closely contested first half so far. We're seeing a tremendous game from Conley.
Well, I love his tenacity defensively.
Sacramento's gone 2 of 3 when they ventured outside the arc in the third quarter. So on the floor for Memphis. Miller is out there with Davis. Then it's Conley. Then it's Jared Bayless. And it's Gasol out at the 5. Home in the paint. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Well, last season on the Raptors, Ed Davis was showing that he could be a solid starter in the league. Bargnani was out and he was filling in well, but he was moved out in the Rudy Gay deal and back to the bench in Memphis.
One drops. He ties it up. And for Davis last season, despite a downturn in minutes, you have to be encouraged by his productivity.
Got good field goal percentage, scored at a higher rate. Coming into the league, we knew he could finish at the rim on lobs and putbacks, but the rest of his offensive game was more of a question mark. Seems to be coming around. He's a very skilled player.
And they now lead as the free throw drops for him. For Sacramento, they've gone 7 of 15 from the field here in the third quarter. The pass to Wolf. Up and in on Malone. The Machine's got 8 points.
That's the kind of aggressive and assertive play they need as we get closer and closer to crunch time.
No question. Pound it into the painted area and continue to put pressure on that defense.
And Doris Burke has something for us. Hey, Doris.
Guys, for Dave Yeager, the new Grizzlies head coach, 6 seasons with them as an assistant. Before that, he won 5 titles coaching in the minor leagues. Yeager said, quote, "This is a blue-collar town, and I'm a blue-collar guy. I came up the hard way. I came up through the minor leagues. This is something I've been preparing for a long time. Guys," he says, he knows how to win. We'll see how he does.
Thanks, Doris. That confidence has certainly served him well. The feed now to Conley. Kicks it to Miller. Shoots the 3. The shot, no good. And Sacramento will go the other way with it. Next matchup, they'll be home against the Suns. That'll be the final game of this 5-game homestand.
Now look at Jared Bayless, some of his numbers, how his season went last year. Averaged about 8 points a game, 3 assists and 2 rebounds. Last year, not his best, but he's looking for a bounce-back season this year.
Yeah, and he knows he didn't have the best year, and that's the first part of correcting it, recognizing it. And he just wants to get back on track this season.
And he gets it to go.
Whatever their plan was defensively that time, it didn't work. Not if it results in that shot.
Fredette kicks to Selmans. Gets the three-pointer to fall. Selmans got 10. Guys, close one here. No team getting a huge advantage.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, there have already been 5 lead changes, but nobody taking control of it.
A great matchup. I mean, these two teams really match up well talent-wise. I'm enjoying this.
Davis dishes to Conley. Poke loose. It's stolen by Fredette. And the Kings pushing it up now. And Patterson kicks to Selmans. That's going to be over and back. Not watching for the line that time.
And a moment here to check out some numbers for Michael Conley last season. 3rd in steals. And he also finished in the top 20 in assists. So this is a guy who really did a nice job of sharing the ball with his teammates.
And, you know, we rewinded and looked back at his number 3 ranking among steals leaders. I mean, you can see that he was a lockdown defender, and he was that way all season long, Steve.
Gasol passes to Conley. It's stolen by Selmans. 1:57 left in the third. Shots good from Wolf. And what's your take, guys, on the hustle sticks for the Kings?
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ballgame.
And the other thing, guys, defensively, a great job of closing out and blocking shots. Man, a gaping hole in the defense that time, and he didn't waste any time getting through it.
Shots good by McLemore.
Oh, when you talk about a beautiful shooting stroke, just look at Ben McLemore out of Kansas. From the ground up, sets his feet, great balance, elevation, beautiful follow-through. I just love McLemore's potential offensively.
I like his upside as well, and you talk about that stroke, it is honey sweet to look at and as efficient as a heat pump. No wasted motion or energy in that. And as he learns to play off screens and be a little more aggressive in attacking the basket, I think he's got a chance to maybe be an all-star player down the road.
Sacramento's gotten going here in the second half from outside, nailing 3 of 4 from the arc. Fredette kicks to McLemore. And again, it's Sacramento converting.
And what jumps out at you guys, the assist totals. I mean, they have been dominant in that category. It's the ball movement, the player movement, great rhythm to their offense.
Clearly seems to me a different mindset between these teams.
Bayless dishes to Miller. He feeds it to Davis. Shot is blocked. There's 31 seconds left to play in the third. And here's Fredette for 3. Rebound by Bayless.
Yeah, no excuses there. Got a really good look at the basket after being freed up by the pick.
We say it all the time. The execution was excellent. The result not as good, but good ball movement anyway.
Miller with the ball. Now defended by Wolf. And with that shot, the Sacramento lead is cut down to just 2 points on the bucket from Miller.
Gotta love the finger roll up and over the defense.
Now Fredette. Selmans for the 3. You know what? From midcourt, can't get it to go. It's still anybody's game as we've reached the end of 3. Kings lead by 2. And time for the short break, and stay right where you are. The fourth quarter is coming up next. We're at the end of the third, and we've still got a close one. And a quick look now at the State Farm assist of the game.
Really excellent feed here, and I know we're used to seeing this guy score, but he is no slouch at creating passes and opportunities for his teammates, and he showcases that skill right here on that replay.
Guys, some great passing from him.
Yeah, it makes it tough for the defense to chase that ball around when it moves that crisply all over the court.
Yeah, it sure does, Clark. And look at the assist totals. They're piling up. I mean, it's been a nice game execution-wise for this club.
Wolf in at power forward. Vasquez out there with Isaiah Thomas. Then there's DeMarcus Cousins. And it's Landry in at the 3, the small forward. So that's the 5 in the game for Sacramento. Randolph kicks to Allen.
Well, you don't expect to get opportunities that easy coming down the stretch of a tight game.
And for Sacramento, they're shooting 53% from the floor. They're locked in. Thomas passes to Wolf. He kicks it to Landry. Thomas off a pick from Wolf. 5 on the clock. Landry inside, guarded by Prince. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
You know, Carl Landry is throughout his career played mostly as a reserve, but he is a super sub, a guy who gives you starter caliber scoring and competes defensively on the backboards. That's just what you want off the bench on your front line.
And the first one at the line is good. Well, going back to Landry, a late bloomer, certainly cut from the freshman team in high school. You know the story, barely made the JV team. He didn't play consistent minutes until his senior year, and Carl Landry has become, in a lot of ways, indispensable for Golden State.
And it was in junior college, Kevin, that he really found his game. His coach told him to be more aggressive, looking to score, and once he did that, he really discovered he had a gift for it, and then, of course, went on to Purdue and had an excellent college career.
Conley dishes to Allen. Inside to Gasol. Kicks it out to Allen. Pass to Randolph. That's blocked by Wolf, but he recovers it.
Well, you look at Zach Randolph, and he doesn't have the typical body of a dominant power forward. But regardless of what his body looks like, you can't deny how hard he works on his game and conditioning during the season and during the offseason. You know, he's a hard worker, and that's part of why Memphis has really embraced him. They love Zach Randolph and what he represents because they can relate to that grinded-out mentality he has.
And Randolph drops them both. Now here's Vasquez. Outside Thomas. Pass to Wolf. Here's Landry. A good finish at the rack off the slick feed. Landry's got 4 this quarter. Well, Clark, you mentioned Randolph's condition. Last season, he changed his pregame routine. Started lifting weights before every game.
Said it gave him a little more bounce in his stride, and something was working. He led the league in offensive boards last season.
And that one's good. Allen's got the game tied up here for the Grizzlies.
I tell you what, you don't want to allow too many of those kinds of baskets with the game on the line.
Now, this is when defenses have to protect the basket with everything they've got. Force the offense to shoot from the perimeter. And he was one step ahead of the defense when he fired that pass for the assist.
The Grizzlies have gone 4 of 7 from the field since the beginning of the 4th. Conley kicks to Randolph. To the middle, here's Allen. Lead pass was put in just the right spot.
This is a fantastic performance in this half. He didn't play as well in the first, but you just know with this guy, he's always ready to turn it around.
Here's the machine. He's covered by Randolph. Here's Vasquez. And the layup is good. And the Kings lead by 2.
He is pouring it on in the second half, guys. I mean, a much better showing than he had before the break.
Conley, the pass to Gasol. Randolph kicks to Conley. Doubled by Wolf. Right side, Randolph. Shot clock at 6. Shot is off. Solid defense there from Wolf. The Kings have gotten every shot they've taken so far in the fourth quarter to go in. That's 5 in a row to start the quarter. The shot's good. Vasquez making the play. Vasquez has got 4 assists in the game. And so it's Memphis with it. 4-point game. After this one, they take on the Clippers at the Staples Center. They're in the midst of a 4-game road trip right now. That'll be game number 3. Randolph off the left rim and out.
It's been a real difficult game for him offensively, and it's costly.
Vasquez passes to Wolf. He dishes it to Landry. 6 on the shot clock. Landry gets the screen from Wolf. Rejected by Prince, and that's out of bounds. Sacramento will retain possession. Chance to check out the Sacramento Kings' upcoming schedule. Next matchup, they'll be home against the Suns, and that game concludes a 5-game homestand. That'll be a 5-second call. Here's what Memphis has lined up on their schedule. They're off to battle the Clippers after this game, as they'll be playing at the Staples Center. That is game 3 of this 4-game trip. The Grizzlies trail by 4. Clark, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
You know what? A basket here would do a lot for their confidence.
Blocked. And the Kings pushing it up now. Finished off the break.
Man, great ball movement. They're just picking this defense apart with their passing.
Well, how about the 3 Ps, Steve? Purposeful, precise, passing. We love it, and so does this team because they're taking advantage of it.
Allen in the post. He's covered by Vasquez. Allen drives in, but they'll get another chance. Prince dishes to Allen. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Tries yet again. And Randolph with the layup.
And his specialty is tracking down those great offensive rebounds that oftentimes he can put right back up for an easy deuce.
Steve, he is always on the prowl. I mean, you got to body him up early, or he'll stake out that prime real estate for those second shot opportunities. Boy, he's just dangling from the rim after sending it through there.
You can see which team now has the swagger, Clark, right now.
Yeah, it's with them.
Yeah, but you don't want to do too much to get an opponent riled up, though, either.
Conley kicks to Gasol. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
For the majority of his career, Marc Gasol has been referred to as the other Gasol. But last season, you can make that case that he surpassed his brother Powell in terms of impact on the court.
Free throw good from Gasol. And Marc Gasol, a little bigger than his older brother Powell, very comfortable at the center position, whereas Powell is a little more of a tweener. They're both obviously so incredibly skilled.
They sure are. I mean, both Gasol's able to play in the high post as passers or jump shooters or down on the low block, and where they can use their array of offensive skills. Pretty impressive to see 2 players like that coming out of the same family.
Gasol hits them both.
You take a look at the offense for the Kings last season, there are some things to build on here, guys. 4th in the NBA in fast break points, top 4 in points in the paint. Those are good numbers to build your offensive foundation around.
Wolf passes to Thomas. They set the pick. Here's the machine. Thomas is screen on Randolph. Plenty of daylight on that shot. The Machine's got the lead up to 6 now for Sacramento.
They've built this lead through plays exactly like that. He's easily been their most consistent performer.
Well, he's been splashing everything today.
Conley dishes to Randolph. Rejected by Wolf.
He's been wayward and just off on about everything he's put up in this period.
Thomas rejected by Gasol. The Grizzlies trail by 6. But for the Kings, I think Coach Mike Malone will try to get them to play a little more unselfishly, Steve, especially at the offensive end.
Yeah, they had a team last year that just seemed to be jacking up shots anytime they could get one up individually. They were among the lowest in the league in assists as a team. A lot of isolation basketball. It was not pretty to watch.
Vasquez gets a screen from Wolf. Salmon's with it. Guarded now by Tayshaun Prince. No one covered. Thomas got 5 points now in the quarter.
He's starting to heat up from outside. That's his second this half.
Randolph a screen on Thomas. Conley with it. Now guarded by Salmons. Gasol kicks to Allen. It's hauled in by the Kings. Thomas got 5 rebounds tonight. Shot's good.
Heads up, aggressive play right there. He saw the smaller man on him, took it straight to the basket.
Kings leading now by 7. Here's Vasquez. It's Salmons on the wing. Outside Thomas. Kings moving the ball around. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Grizzlies will take it.
Boy, did they ever make a mess out of that one. A terrible turnover.
The Grizzlies trail by 7. Clark, some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, they need a basket just to regain some momentum here, Kevin.
And Zach Randolph, the bucket on the assist by Conley. Conley's got his 9th assist in the game now. The King shooting has been beyond great up until now. How about 57% from the field overall? Outside Thomas. And here is Salmons. Salmons off a pick from Wolf. Excellent use of the screen that time. And the Kings lead by 7.
And he came off that screen. The defense just couldn't get over the top. Beautiful play.
Yep, and without a hand in his face, he's going to bury those.
A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Yes, guys, over that last break, I listened to Dave Yeager address his team. He told his guys, listen, we've got to make the most of every opportunity right now. We can win this game, but it's all about making every single possession count. Guys, we'll see if they can come back.
It has not been an easy quarter for him, at least offensively speaking.
Outside for Thomas. Dish now to Salmons. Lock at 6. No good from Cousins. Wolf. And he converts the lead. And now it's a 9-point Kings lead.
They're straying away from the three-point game here in the second half. That's fine as long as they're on the lead and they're getting good shots. They decided not to take nearly as many three-pointers in this half.
Here's Allen. And again, Memphis no good. Here's Sacramento. Salmons kicks to Vasquez. 1:27 left in the fourth quarter. It's Thomas outside, and another 3 for Sacramento.
Starting to get it rolling, guys. That's 4 3-pointers for the game. 3 of them coming in this second half.
The Grizzlies trail by 12. Conley, the pass to Allen. Pass to Gasol. To stop the run. That's good. Gasol's got 8 points in the quarter. Timeout called by the Kings. They're up by 10. 1:06 left here in the fourth quarter.
And now just watching the clock wind down and what will turn out to be a win here for the Kings.
Great, generous ball movement tonight. A thing of beauty.
Yeah, remarkable team effort, Kevin. Everybody got involved, and that paid dividends.
And every win important. And this one will go down as win number 3.
And you always like to jump on your opponent early in the season series. This is just the first of 3 between these two teams, but a good win to go up 1-0 on the year against the Grizzlies.
And you have to look back at this and see what a huge game it's been for the machine. He was extremely efficient offensively, getting looks, knocking down big shots all game long.
Sacramento's gone 2 for 2 from three-point land to start the fourth quarter. Salmons dishes to Thomas. .29 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And it's Gasol with the rebound.
That's not an opportunity he fails to convert very often.
Prince kicks to Conley. And the Grizzlies get it back. Tries to save it. And that'll be Memphis as it goes out of bounds. Grizzlies retain possession. So Memphis going with almost an entire new group here. Now a timeout called by Memphis. They're down by 10. 11 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
Well, this one's out of reach, so I'm not sure why they're calling the timeout here. Maybe just to try to work on something, maybe an out-of-bounds play or something.
Well, they might as well talk about what movies they want to see or what they want to surf on the internet, because this one's done, boys.
11 seconds left in the game. Here's Pondexter, and another miss by Memphis. Here's the screen, and there's the whistle. Illegal screen.
Well, if you're going to set a screen like that, you've got to make sure your feet are set.
I agree with you, and I thought maybe he was set that time, Steve. I thought it was a good screen on his part.
Here's Bayless. Misses. So it's the Kings winning this one easily. They put on a show tonight, thoroughly controlling each end of the floor.
Hey, what more can you ask?
And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Well, DeMarcus, congratulations on the win tonight. We know you're a very intense player, but tonight you certainly seem to be having a lot of fun out there.
That's the thing. I'm just trying to come out here and have fun. I got a lot going for myself, and I'm too blessed to be out here frowning all the time. So I'm going to try to keep a smile on my face.
We love to see you smile, DeMarcus. Thanks for the time. Guys?
Thank you, Doris, for that. And now for Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke. This is Kevin Harlan saying, see you next time, as we present our Jordan Player of the Game, The Machine.
Go!